What's up and welcome. I'm your boy King Dig, and I'm back with a new video. In this video, I'm going to be talking about the Charles Barkley and LeBron beef. Basically, actually, I'm really not going to be talking about them. I'm going to be talking about Shaq's take on like their whole beef and him basically backing LeBron on the stuff that he said, basically. And I don't know. Like I said, if you have a different belief system than me, then you can write down in the comment section below. But I feel that no, I still feel that LeBron was wrong about basically about what he said, even though that the stuff that that Charles, that Barkley was doing back then was basically in the tabloids and in the newspapers and stuff like that. I still believe that what LeBron said was basically wrong and it was personal. Now Shaq tried to say that it wasn't. It was personal when Charles said that that he didn't want to compete or something like that. That LeBron didn't want to compete, or basically he didn't say he didn't want to compete. He said what you don't want to compete. Um, I don't know. I play sports and stuff like that, and I don't feel that's not personal. I'm sorry. That's not extremely personal. It's like you saying what Charles said, what Barkley said, and then oh, you don't want to compete, and then you trying to one up the other person like okay, your mama had cancer and you wasn't on her deathbed by her side on her deathbed. Ha, got you, I won. That's too personal. That's personal. That's somebody's personal life. So that has absolutely nothing to do with the game of basketball. That's personal. So a person asking a person what you don't, so you don't want to compete or something like that, or you acting like you don't want to compete or something like that. That is not a personal dig at somebody. That's something that's basketball related. That is not personal. Shaq was acting like, oh, that's super personal. So yeah, he got the right to go into your personal life, and say something from your personal life when you never said anything about his personal life, about LeBron's personal life, and LeBron wanted to come in and say something about your personal life. So it would have been perfectly fine since LeBron made it personal. It would have been perfectly fine talking about the little light skinned dude from his Cavaliers days who slept with his mama. The little light skinned dude that looked like Steph Curry with tattoos on his neck that slept with his mama. Okay, so that would have been perfectly fine at that point to say something about that on national TV because LeBron made it personal. But it had absolutely nothing to do with basketball. Everything that Charles Barkley said had to do with basketball. It was some other points that Shaq made that that was on point though. Like yeah, I understand. I do want a trumped up team. I do want all the best players on my team because when you play basketball in the hood, you want all the best players on your team. You don't want to have you and then a whole bunch of scrubs and then be like yeah, I'm gonna compete now. I'm gonna compete now. I want to compete this I'm the best player on the team or whatever. I want to bring this team to a win. No, you don't. You want the best players on your team. You want to be able to kick that ball out to somebody and know they gonna know how to handle that ball. And know they gonna know how to pass it to somebody else. Know they don't know how to shoot it. Know that they don't know how to at least cross up and not get the ball stolen. You want those type of people on your team. So I don't understand why everybody all nowadays something you don't want to compete. You want to have 50 superstars on your team. Yes. That's how basketball is played. You want the best people on your team possible. Period. Everybody has always wanted that. Just in the old days they couldn't get that because saying when you drafted somebody, that's how you got new players on your team. Nowadays you can actually trade and everything else to get better players on your team. So it has always been like that. It has always been people like from neighborhood basketball and everything else. You want the better player on your team. That's how you win the game. Somebody is equally as good as you or slightly better. you know, or maybe a little bit under, you know what I'm saying, on your team. But you don't want just a whole bunch of scrubs and then you be like, okay, I'm gonna take this team to a championship. It's not how stuff works. You know what I'm saying? If you can do that, that's great. 9 times out of 10, you're not gonna win in the championships because the other teams is gonna play harder. So, but that's just my take on everything. I don't know. I think Shaq basically stepped way out of line on that one or whatever. What Barkley said before was nowhere near personal or whatever. For Shaq to even act like that was a personal thing or even something personal to say to somebody just because you asking them what you don't want to compete or whatever on basically on your own merits and stuff like that. You want to get a whole bunch of superstars. You know what I'm saying? That's nothing personal. That's not a dig at his wife. That's not a dig at LeBron's kids. That's not a dig at LeBron's mama. That's not a dig at nothing. That's not personal. So for Shaq to act like that was personal, it's not. So I mean, I feel that basically that Shaq was in the wrong for that. You know what I'm saying? Shaq was basically Shaqing the fool on that one. But this has been another video from your boy King Dig, and I'm out. Please like, comment, and subscribe on this video, and comment your thoughts down below if you feel any differently than the way I felt about the way basically how LeBron and Shaq acted basically to that whole little comment that was about basketball that LeBron made about personal life. All right, I'm out.